What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Beyond ARTV. 7 on Sunday is here, and this week I am talking about something that you guys have asked me about for a while now. I have kind of talked about it in an old episode that I'm not proud of. I think the entire first season of 7 on Sunday just absolutely sucks because I didn't know what I was doing whatsoever. But I made an episode called Artists or Else Bands that I don't like that other people seem to love. And today I'm making the episode 7 bands that I just cannot get into for the life of me. I have tried, maybe I haven't tried as hard as I should have, but their overarching themes and styles just don't seem appealing to me, even though I understand why others are into them. Now, obviously, these are just bands that I'm saying I personally don't feel any attachment or investment to. I'm not calling these bands terrible by any means, so please stop the riots already. Don't we have enough of that already? Let's just be calm and realize that these are bands that I can't get into. Be sure to leave a like on the video today and leave comments suggesting future episodes of 7 on Sunday. I would love to hear from you guys. I like hearing input and I want to know what you want to see on 7 on Sunday. You want to see more of the underrated stuff. You want me to talk about albums that form my childhood music? I don't know where I'm going with it. Let me know what you would like to see in the comments. And here we go with the first band that I have a lot of trouble getting into.
Remember when you lost your shit and drove the car into the garden? You got out and said I'm sorry to the vines, no one saw me.
This Ohio-based indie band have been around since the late 90s, early 2000s. I didn't really hear of them until my late high school years, which is around probably 2008, 2010, somewhere in that time frame. Had a couple of friends that were pretty into the National, and I tried listening to them, and it made me sad in the wrong ways. And I've tried picking up a few of their records and listening through them. Trouble Will Find Me came out in 2013. And I found nothing to enjoy on it. Personally, I didn't connect with it. I found myself listening through it kind of bored, understanding why people would like the mood or the atmosphere. But for me, it wasn't really painting a picture of anything other than what else could I listen to. I understand that they and a lot of bands that appear on this list are very critically acclaimed, but honestly, that means nothing to me. That means nothing whenever you personally don't get enjoyment from something. I hate seeing that argument. It's not an argument. If you personally don't like something, why would you lie to your fans, your viewers, or even your friends about what you like? Why? Are you trying to impress someone? Because I'm certainly not. Just had to put that disclaimer out there before we move on to number 6.
Now this ghost in my bedroom, it gives me advice. He promised one day that he'd teach me to fight. Now when I think that I'm alone, he comes up my way with a devil's smile, singing this is now my home.
The words are coming and I feel terrible. Mayday Parade are a pretty talented band. I will give them that. I like their musicianship, I like their style, I like their presence in the scene, and I respect them. I think Derek Sanders is a pretty good vocalist. I think that I really admire them just kind of pushing hard all of these years, staying consistent in not only their popularity, but just their touring, their efforts on the road. I like everything about them other than their music. I have never really found a place for that in my heart. Mayday Parade's first album was pretty good. I will give them that. A Lesson in Romantics is something that I can still find some enjoyment from, and When I Get Home, You're So Dead is one of my favorite songs in the pop punk world of all time. Seriously, that was my MySpace profile song. That song is the shit still to this day. But for the most part, most of their stuff just feels a little whiny, a little overdone, and it seems like they made the album over and over again for a while before finally, with their most recent album, changing it up on Black Lines, and that didn't even hit home for me. It was just like we took a 180, but it was the wrong 180. It's like you thought for a second you got on the right flight, but you didn't, and Black Lines just kind of fell flat on its face for me. There was a few good songs on there, and overall, like I said, I respect what the band are doing, but I have just never been able to access this band's music with a sense of enjoyment. I don't find myself seeking it out. kind of hate to put number 5 on here, but CIRCA Survive, I'm sorry. I don't want you to not check them out. If you're watching this video, have never heard of CIRCA Survive, do yourself a favor. Check these bands out to see if maybe you like them. But me personally, I just can't really get into Anthony Green's voice. I understand that in the scene, it kind of goes well together. I guess the higher register, the higher pitched voice with some more kind of toned down guitars, moody stuff. I will say that Frozen Creek, damn good song. Probably my favorite CIRCA Survive song that I have heard. But overall, this band just kind of annoys me in a way. Now, I will say that their most recent album was a surprise. I say the majority of their discography, not exactly in favor in my eyes, but their most recent album, I saw some improvements, some harder tendencies that I just didn't expect, and if I could see more of that from them, then maybe I'd be a little bit more on board.
I dwell on it nightly, tread swiftly and lightly, like off the lost ground, and see what you don't see. All questions inside, I asked and you lied, and now my hands are tied.
Can't wait to turn some heads with my next 4 picks. The stories so far are up next, and I know people are gonna be, I don't even want to read the comments on it. The story so far, pop punk, aggressive, kind of rock stuff. It just sounds like a bunch of like shouting from like a teenage boy to me, and it just doesn't feel fun. It feels kind of reckless, but in the wrong way. It doesn't feel that punk to me. It just feels a little too chaotic in the wrong ways. The spirit of the music is more like emo or pop punk, especially in a lot of the lyrical content, but it just didn't exactly line up for me on the albums that I've heard from them. And even going back, checking out some of their older stuff, my girlfriend's really into them, so I hear them quite often, and I hear them and I'm like, it's not the worst thing in the world by any means, not at all, but Parker Cannon's voice just doesn't do much for me. It's like, chill a little bit, please. Like, it's so like gravelly and like fierce, and it's like overtly so for the music that they're playing. It doesn't exactly match very well. Maybe I'm speaking blasphemies over here, but that's just my 2 cents worth. I don't care for them at all.
When I start showing up, I never know when to quit. Say something, I'm not giving up on you. I'll stay as long as I need to. I wanna be all you think about, anything and everything you dream about.
Continuing with that, we have the band Issues. I've never cared for Tyler Carter as a vocalist, and I know people are always saying, oh, he's so talented, his voice is just ace, it's flawless, he sounds really good, he can hit all of these notes and registers, and their screamer is really good as well. And I listen to them, and I'm just like, there's so many other bands that do the kind of rotated scream and sing vocal thing, and they're so much better. I mean, even the likes of Linkin Park, seriously, just look to that a few years back, and now you've got like Issues, or a very watered down version of really alternative, post-hardcore, several other different types of things, and they incorporate these electronic elements into their music as well. The lyrics are just washed up. I don't feel any connection to them whatsoever. It feels very contrived, not from a very genuine point of view. And overall, Issues are just one of those bands where I don't understand why they've developed the following that they have necessarily. Now, at the same time, I do see why some people would connect to it. I just feel like it's been done before, it's been heard before, and I am going to move on to something else.
Got no camera to see. Don't think I'm out in this world. Camera won't let me roam. The burden doesn't love also.
Number 2 is Gorillaz, a band from Damon Albarn. You might know from Blur, a very big UK creator. Gorillaz took off in the early 2000s. You probably heard like their big single that was a huge breakout for them, Clint Eastwood. Some of the ones that followed up, like El Mañana, Feel Good Inc. being the biggest of any of them really. And they kind of went in a weird direction years after after that. And I had only heard singles. I had my roommate at the time that was really, really obsessed with them, so into them, just begging me to listen to more of their stuff. And so I got Demon Days from him, listened to it, he asked me to review it, I went ahead and did it, and I caught a bunch of shit because guess what? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like Gorillaz. I don't like their new song whatsoever. I feel like the feature was just weird. It feels like they're going in this really like artsy direction, and I don't care for that type of music at all whatsoever. Demon Days had a few good songs on it, but Plastic Beach is probably the one that I've connected with most over time. I love some of the singles, and I know that that's probably such a terrible and sinful thing to say. How he just likes the singles. He's such a noob. He's such a surface level fan. I don't care. I think Feel Good Inc. is a great song, probably one of the best of the mid-2000s, and they had some great follow-up ones. I love Don Comatic off of Plastic Beach, and I like a few songs scattered here and there, like on Revolving Doors, and I will listen to the new project. I just can't find it in me to get hyped up for it, and I understand that there's a lot of people that want to see me cover Gorillaz stuff, but I'm sorry, they're just not really for me. Numero uno, the number one band that I still can't get into. They were on my list the first time, and they're on my list again here at a much higher ranking, just because I see so much praise and I feel pressured to like love them. I just don't. Even the likes of like David Bowie endorsing them, even featuring on Reflector. Arcade Fire, that's the name of the band. They've been huge in the indie scene for a while, and I've never understood it. It sounds like listening to paint dry for me, listening through some of their records. I'm bored because it feels very artistic. It feels like, I guess I got taken like on a field trip somewhere that I didn't want to go as a kid, and you're kind of like halfway paying attention. And now looking at it years later after that field trip, you're like, I respect what it was, and I hate that I kind of neglected it, but at the same time, I'm still not really tempted to go back and check it out. That's the best way I can describe me in Arcade Fire. I don't know if I will ever get into them. Maybe, I don't know. It'll take a different appreciation. I don't see my taste shifting that much. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of 7 on Sunday. I'm sorry if these were some of your favorite bands, but I really can't help how I feel, and I've always been pretty transparent with you guys about how I feel about a certain band or artist. Never want to try to pretend to be into somebody that I'm not. So these were 7 bands that I just can't get into. Let me know a few of yours in the comments section down below. Ones that you've tried to love but just can't. Be sure to leave a like on the video today and subscribe to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If you would like to check out the last episode of 7 on Sunday, click right here, or another recent video from Beyond ARTV that I think you might enjoy, click right over here. Social media linked in the description. Other than that, I'll see you very soon right here on Beyond ARTV.